This is what the mystery prize is.
Filming?
Got a little,
out the window, out the window.
little croc on the side of the road.
G'day, adventure famers.
In this week's video, we competed in the Iron Jack Cooktown Barramundi fishing competition. While we were fishing in Lakefield National Park, we filmed a crocodile on the road, we caught a heap of barra, we also filmed quite a large goanna on the road.
And a pig.
Oh, and
a redback spider. Okay, so if you're interested and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel by hitting that big red subscribe button down below, as well as tick the notifications bell so that when our new videos come up, it notifies you on your phone and you can watch them. Leave a comment down below to let us know other interesting things that you'd like to see, or if you liked our content, or if you liked our videos, or if you liked our clips, or if you liked... This is a blooper.
G'day, we've rocked up here and set up camp. Brandon's over here, so we'll have a bit of a look at what he's up to. He's been getting pretty good at this. So what do you got there, bud?
We've got mono and our leader, and we're going to tie an Albright to put them together.
By mono, you're talking about monofilament fishing line?
Yep.
They're both mono line, but the leaders are higher gauge? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of poundage are you using there, mate?
The poundage on the reel itself is 20 pound with a 60 pound supple trace leader.
Because we're actually chasing barramundi, we need the heavier gauge line, especially the 60 pound leader, because they've got a really sharp armor plated section on their gill plate. So as they try and fight and get away from you, they saw it and they cut the line. If it's anything less than, well, some people use 40, some people even use 20, and that's fair enough, you know, when they're really sort of game fishing and they're trying light tackle. But 9 times out of 10, especially up here in these sort of wilder areas, and especially this time of year when it's warming up and they're a little bit, they're fighting that little bit harder and dancing and playing around. Not to mention they rub up on snags if they get caught and snaps your line. So we're going a little bit heavier gauge, so sorry mate. What do we got going on here? What kind of knot are you tying before you pull that down?
So we're tying an Albright knot and just put a bit of spin on it to lube it up so it slides on easier.
Now I heard you saying before that traditionally you would have put a few more twists in that, but you've put less in it because it's a lighter gauge line than when we're fishing with reef fishing. So yes. What have you got going on there?
So in a typical Albright you'd tie 8 loops down and 8 loops back, but because this lighter line, it doesn't really like that 8 loops. It tends to bunch up right at the start here and doesn't pull the whole knot all the way through. So I'm just doing 6 down and 6 back up, and it pulls through a lot nicer.
So you're keeping lubing that up because otherwise if it grabs, sometimes it binds and doesn't tie the knot, and also sometimes it'll actually burn the knot and then later on it'll break through, is that right?
Mm-hmm. That's what she ends up looking like.
And then you're going to trim that up?
Yep.
And you're leaving a short little tag on that, aren't you?
Yeah. So if it does get loose a little bit, at least it's got a tiny little bit to slip back on, so it doesn't just undo completely.
We've been down this road before, kicking in every open door. Yeah, 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 yeah. Anything for love. Keep coming back for more, but I ain't singing your lines no more. Yeah, 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 yeah. Anything for love. It's been nice doing business.
The action on this frog is so cool. He just comes up and sits like a frog and his feet must dangle underneath there. Just cruises up over the lily pads if he needs to, falls back down in the water. He hasn't brought up any weeds or anything yet. He's had 2 or 3 really monster buffs, but just can't get him to hook up.
Straight out. Bring it back slowly, give it a couple of puffs, see if you can even...
He's on. Oh, it's the the trouble with these weedless lures. What a beautiful smash.
Yep.
He's up. Oh. Filming?
Got a little-
Out the window, out the window.
Little croc on the side of the road here.
Jump out.
All the birds flying away. Still following this little croc. You hear the noise he's making.
Hey, buddy.
He's a nice little fishy.
No, he's not a freshie, he's a salty.
Yeah, true.
That's a saltwater croc, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we found this guy. He was crossing the road. He's gone from, there's a lagoon across the road called Red Lily Lagoon, and this is White Lily Lagoon. You can see, oh, you probably can't see now. But yeah, he was sitting in the middle of the road. I thought it was a goanna. But no, he's a little saltwater crocodile. He's a bit upset with us at the moment. He's hissing. We're not going to bother him or anything. We just wanted to get a bit of footage for you guys. See him breathing up and he's hissing out, letting us know he's not happy. We followed him in here. He's not far from the lagoon now, so he'll head over there. But yeah, this guy, he's, what is he, Brandon? Jump on the other side there. Don't get in his way or upset him, but jump on the other side.
He's probably 2.5 foot, nearly 3.
There he goes.
He's gone.
We'll watch him go into the water. Go on, buddy.
I'm waiting for his mum just to jump out.
No, she'd be long gone now. It's not a baby anymore. Just keep an eye out that there isn't some other big fella there. Ah, cool as. All the birds flying away. See you later, buddy. Oh, look at his eye. We can't see him, but we can still see his eye walking through there. Cool. Battery's been playing up a little bit, so made sure we put the solar panels on the front of the car before we've headed off. Got it directly in line with the sun rising up, with the fog on the water down there. It looks like a much nicer water hole to be fishing in at the moment. Charging well, 12.9. So, alright, let's go flick some lures and chase some fish. He's on.
Oh, he's only a little rat, but still.
Hey, he's a nice little barra.
I'm not getting close to that water. Too black for my liking.
Yeah, these water holes, we don't tend to go in with a landing net and grab fish out of the water hole because it's a bit dark in there, and a nice big saltwater crocodile can come flying up and grab you in a big hurry. Oh, look there, baby crocodile. I don't know if you guys can see that, just sitting right out in the middle. Cool as, first barra of the trip.
So we just taking measurement for this little fella. He's 470. And took a photo of the length, so gonna release him now.
Gone. So Brandon's just picked up another little barra here. He's got that on that fluoro bomber. It was the same one that he got last time. That seems to be working really well at the moment. And he's just going to let him go. We're looking for a new fishing spot. We come across this little sort of bay here, And you can see that branch sticking out that way. Right out on the very end of it, there was a couple of lures, and we had a go. We were trying to work out how we might be able to get them out of there. We've got what you call a lure retriever, which is just a little simple device, bit of tube. It's got a couple of little pigtails that you slide down over the line, and then you hold your line up. That goes down, and these chains hook onto the trebles, and you can pull it off. It didn't actually work for this one because we didn't have the line and it wasn't going to direct pull. So what we did was threw it over the branch and it hooked into a fork, and then we snapped the branch off, and we've ended up with, what do you got there, Brandon?
We ended up with a Barra Classic and another bomber.
That's a good little $25, $30 haul, which is great. So we'll add them to our little arsenal and keep going. Typical. Dad's up here cooking lunch while Son's down there trying to steal all the glory. Brandon's just gone to put the gimbal back on the Mavic Pro, on the drone, after we finish using it. He's realised there's a redback spider. They're a really venomous spider, and it's just sitting up inside. So don't know if I've landed somewhere or if he's crawled in the bag, but it's probably landed somewhere and he's jumped on. So we'll have to coax him out of there. That's not going to be great. That's Brandon's job anyway.
Yeah, no, not happening.
Go and grab a stick, mate, and we'll coax it out.
Hazel. Come on, bud. Yep.
Bring him up, we'll have a look. So that is the iconic Australian redback spider. So they can actually be lethal. They're not real big, but yeah, they give you a nasty bite. They won't always kill you straight away, but they can make you crook. So, and yeah, if you don't get help fast enough, they can definitely kill you. And that's quite a large one, sneaky little bugger. So yeah, that was lucky we didn't just jam our fingers in there. You always got to look. All right, we're going to keep going. We just found a good fishing spot. We'll get on it. It is too, tarpon. Brandon's just scored a tarpon. It's not really it's not a good eating fish. They're generally a good fighting fish, and they're kind of a bee catch for us, but still it's good fun. Just won't help us win the competition, so he was a little bit upset. Otherwise, we'll get it back in the water.
Righto.
Give us a look.
Tarpon there. That's probably the dirtiest side, outside.
Yes,
yeah.
Finally, we're on the scoreboard. So this is our first legal barra, and we've got like 10 minutes before we have to actually go. So at least we've got something to weigh in. This fella's about 65. Just got him out of the water hole there. He was really feisty, and a few barra have been biting. So maybe they're just on the bite. We're gonna get some more lures back in the water and see how we go.
So we're driving on the road. We come up to the station. And there's a goanna eating on an old wallaby carcass. Nice big fella too. He's probably 4 foot. Trying to get into the bush, run away. Alright, we'll leave you be, buddy.
We just weighed in our barra. We're here at the Sovereign Resort. You can see the harbour in the background. Sovereign's a lovely place. They capped this fishing comp at 300 people.
So while we were fishing, we tried out an array of lures, and we'll show you which ones worked the best, which ones didn't work so much, and which were sort of, yeah, nah.
So the first one was our Berkeley power bait. It swam really well, and I'm confident that if this was in a tidal area out in a river, it would work really well because there was some great tail movement. But we got a few touches, but it was too big a lure to be hooked on a lot of the small barra that were biting.
So the second lure that we had was the gold bomber. We caught a fair few fish on it, but in the end, the new bomber that we bought, I cast it out and it hit a log and the rear treble just snapped clean off her. It was the back half of the lure, just snapped off, and we lost that lure. That's just one of the ones that we found on the tree, one of my old ones that I lost from yonks ago.
The second in the bomber series, the fluoro bomber, it was probably our most successful lure. We caught well over 15 barra with that.
Oh, probably even more.
We caught a lot of barra with that. But again, like the other bomber, it actually snapped. It hit a branch and snapped in half. So bomber, if you're listening, you make some really good lures. They travel really well, swim really well, I should say. But we have had a bit of trouble with how durable they are. Our third bomber in the bomber series was the red stripe one. This actually caught our largest fish on the last day, right on the last minute. But overall, during the weekend, it didn't have the best results. It did again swim well, performed reasonable, but it wasn't attracting the fish like the fluoro bomber was.
Our fifth lure was the Savage Gear Black Frog. So you can see in the first video, this one used to have feet, but it was hit a fair few times, and the feet, they were sat in there with a little bit of glue. They eventually ripped out on probably the 7th or 8th bite from a fish. But apart from having that, it was a really good lure, worked really well. Just needed a bit more glue inside them legs to stop them from falling out.
The two frogs that we had were both awesome, except as you find with weedless lures, it's really hard to get hookups. So we had probably more than 30 really decent strikes without any actual hookups. We didn't catch any fish at all on these lures, which was a shame.
And this one. So last one, it's the twitching lure. I know you've all seen them off TV. I didn't purposely buy this one, I got it as a present. It's got a beautiful action on it, it swims really well, but it sinks. It's too heavy, so it just sinks, and it ended up getting caught in a lot of weed and branches and stuff that we didn't want it in. But the other thing as well, we didn't catch a single fish on it. They seem to be really scared of that vibration, and probably not the light, I'd say the vibration. It's just an odd thing for a lure to do. The other lures that did quite well was the Halco Rooster, little purple, yellow and silver popper. He got tons of strikes, but most of them didn't hook up because I put a little bit bigger of a treble on him just so that we could catch them bigger fish. But no, most of the little barra weren't grabbing him properly, and he ended up getting caught into a snag.
So to cap it off, overall our winner for this comp was the fluoro bomber. Just again, bomber, if you're listening, we probably need to work on a little bit more strength. Hope you guys have enjoyed this clip. I hope that there's been plenty of tips that you can apply to your fishing trips. I hope you have a great deal of fun if you are going out and trying a fishing comp together.